You are live.
We are live.
Okay. Hello, guys. Thank you once again for joining. This is the third session that we have for our United Forever YouTube Live. You saw what we did in the previous two sessions where we had panelists joining us. We discussed how the previous season is, what the performance, etc., was, and what can we look forward in the first session. Uh, Today, the session is going to be focused on what does the next season or the upcoming season have in hold for us. Where is United going to finish? Who's going to be a top scorer? Who's going to be our most important player? Where are the areas where we can improve? And then we also look at it holistically in terms of how is the PL going to shape up? How is the UCL going to shape up? Who's going to be the champions? Who are going to be the teams to look out for? And what are the basis for that? So joining us today for our third session live is Debangshu and Pramod. Both of them have been integral part of our United Forever group for many years now, active members participating in mostly all the discussion that we have. So Debangshu and Pramod, would you like to just go ahead and introduce yourselves, please?
Sure. Hi. So, hi everyone. This is Debangshu. I have been a follower of football for quite some time, right? Follower of Manchester United since 1999. Favorite player would be Paul Scholes. I think immense contribution of this player for United as well as the entire trophy-laden years that we have had. So let's see what we do next season. I have high hopes from United as well as Ole. Over to you, Pramod.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Pramod. I'm 21 years old. I was born when Devanshu Bhai started watching football, followed football, and I am following football from 2008. When 2011, I'm starting. I supported United, and it's been only 9 years. I'm relatively very young to all of you here, but I hope to bring some insights and share my opinion here.
Great. Thanks a lot, guys. And I think except Devangshu and Pramod, we also have our usual, my partners in crime, Akhil and Akshay, who are joining us and who will be the additional mods with us for the session today. Right. So, guys, this is what the structure is going to be today. We will first speak to Devangshu. The discussion and the analysis with Devangshu is pretty much going to be around focused around United, how the United performance is going to be this season, which individual players are going to do better than the others, who to look out for. And once that discussion is over, we will then move to Pramod. And as we said earlier, look at the holistic picture. How is the PL going to pan out? How is the CL going to pan out, etc. And I think both of them have their pre-done or pre-read analysis to show us on screen share as well. So we have lots coming up in this 1 hour session. And I think without wasting any time, let's get started, guys. So Devangshu, on to you, right? Uh, Manchester United start their season tomorrow, right? A very important match against Crystal Palace. So, talking about what is going to happen next year, according to ER, based on your predictions, let's start with the basic question. How do you think the match is going to pan out tomorrow?
See, to be very honest, rather than talking about positions, I have done my analysis with respect to the matches and everything. I think we will start on a very strong positive note. I know Crystal Palace is a strong team. They have got pace on the wings and everything. Jordan Ayew, Wilfred Zaha, they're a well niche team and everything. But with the kind of rest that we have had and with the addition of new players like VDP, I expect a strong emphatic win tomorrow. So something around 2-0 should be good enough for us tomorrow.
Right. And do you see Donny van de Beek starting, or do you think we're going to press back and start Matic and then have Pogba and Bruno in the midfield?
So I personally see VDB starting. I see there would be a 4-2-3-1 with Matic and VDB starting and probably Pogba coming it around 65 minute, right? As well as the other usual players that we have had.
Right. So I think you're predicting a strong 2-0 win for us tomorrow to start the season. All right. Now, going a little into detail about what is going to happen in the season, right? And before we really go to where United, etc., is going to finish, my first question to you is who do you think is going to be our top scorer next season? Do you see a number 9, Anthony Martial, being that, or do you see someone from the wings, or maybe let's say Bruno Fernandes being a top scorer next season?
Right. So for this question, I would just like to show one data that I have prepared. Right. Just give me a moment. So this is, I hope that all of you can see, right, Arjun?
Mm, yes, we can, but I'll just
Right.
make it a
So
little
I'll
better. Yeah.
just zoom in it a bit, right?
Yeah.
So this is how it is, right? So I personally see that this is how we would be getting the goals. Obviously, if you see the front line, number nine, Marshall had a terrific season last time around, right? Same expectations from Marshall. I'm expecting him to reach the coveted 20 plus goals in EPL alone, followed closely by Rashford, which I'm expecting him to score around 18 goals. So these two would be the prime partners in crime in terms of the scoring for United.
All right. So just spending a little more time on this goal sheet that you've created. I see you saying that Bruno Fernandes is you are expecting around 10 goals from him and Mason Greenwood to score around 12 goals. Don't you think Mason Greenwood would improve a little more because I think he scored almost more goals last season, right, as compared to 12? Or is this only
Right.
Premier League?
Sure. So if you see the entire analysis, so I have also chosen players who will be most likely playing the most number of games, right? So I don't want to talk about the transfers, incoming transfers, and everything, but with a limited timeline for Greenwood, as well as if we have any right winger, I'm expecting around 12 goals because I see Daniel James to come in and pitch with around 6 goals. So my front three that would be playing most of the games between Rashford, Marshall, as well as James slash Greenwood, they would be scoring around 18 odd goals in the EPL season. If you see last season where we have been poor is in terms of the goals that we have scored, right? So in terms of the goal conceded, we were the third best in the league, 35 if I'm not wrong, right? 65 goals we scored, which was pretty less. Whereas if you see Liverpool scored around 85 goals, City scored 101 goals. I'm expecting 86 goals this season, and which is pretty realistic. For this to be possible, what I expect is this chunk, the entire defense to at least pitch with 7 goals. This is a pretty small number for a big team like United. And if you see the last season, the contribution from the defensive side was only around 3 goals. So an addition of 4 goals, if we can just add, plus the midfield of Bruno, added advantage of Bruno playing this season. I know he has scored 8 goals in half a season. Pogba did not score much, 1 goal, so I'm expecting 5 goals, and VDB from 0 to 5. So if the midfield can come up with 20 goals, as well as the added advantage of the defense scoring around 7 goals, I think we can easily have an advantage of 20 plus goals this season, which would take us tally to 86 goals. Even if we have a goal conceded of say 36 to 40, also I think that would be good enough for the remaining analysis part that I have. One critical part with respect to the goal scored would be this, that is the goals from the set pieces. If you see our last season, we have been extremely poor both in terms of the defending as well as in terms of the attacking the set pieces, be it corners, be it free kicks. Though Rashford has had a blinder against Chelsea, but Maguire has to do well. He has to get back his Leicester City form in terms of the headed goals, specifically from the corners. Lindelof, I'm expecting similar numbers, as well as if you see the fullbacks, both AWB as well as Shaw, they were 0 last season. So even if they can just add 1 goals each, I think we can easily have this 86 number.
Yeah, but Dimanshu, one thing that strikes out here is the number of goals you've put against Odion Igalo. Now, he's someone who's supposed to be our backup striker, right? Someone who we will see, I think, not start, but definitely play close to 15 to 20 matches in some way or the other. Don't you think just 1 goal from him is not is way beyond is way below what we actually should see?
See, quite honestly, I don't see Ighalo playing most of the games in EPL, right? So if you see this analysis is mostly driven around the EPL games, I strongly believe that Ole would stick with the Rashford, Martial, James, Greenwood, Igalo probably to have a hold up game when we are winning. If we have a winger, obviously that winger would also have some game time. Igalo, I'm seeing mostly with respect to the cup games where he would be scoring 5, 6 goals over the course of season. Also, you have to remember that Igalo, we have a relationship up to January, right? So post January, we don't know whether Igalo will be staying or not. So basis that, I feel that Igalo, if he can just pitch in with 1 goal, that would be good enough for us.
All right. Now, if you spend a little bit of time on the analysis that you've done on the assists, right? I see again a lot of assists from Bruno Fernandes, but don't you think the number of assists from Paul Pogba is a little low again? Do you see him playing more of a deeper role in the season, given that Van der Beek is also now infused into the team?
See, if you see, I have not done an analysis with respect to assist. However, as you rightly mentioned, with Pogba, or even a Bruno, right? They have had a half a season. Problem with Paul Pogba is whether he would be remaining fit for the entire season. So between a Pogba, VDB, and Bruno, not only in terms of the goals but also the assist, as well as I'm expecting some numbers from Scott, which I have not yet added with respect to the assist column specifically. But I feel that in terms of the game that all is developing for, say, a Scott or a Fred, they would come into the picture, and the added advantage would be taken by this lot. These
Yeah,
would be the
because
main.
according to
Yeah.
me, I think the number this season for Pogba has to really go from three to a bigger number, right? The last thing we want is Paul Pogba to becoming, well, I mean, he is a B2B midfielder, but the last thing we want is for him to become a benign sort of a midfielder who's just passing the ball, etc. Because his creativity is really what works for us. So here's really hoping that the number three really goes up this season. Now, another important question, Devanshu. So, this is what you think is going to be the expected goals given that we do not make any other signings. Let's suppose
Absolutely.
we go in and get someone like a Sancho or someone at the right wing, or let's say we get another attacking player. Let's not name it. Do you see this 80, how much do you see this tally of 86 getting affected because of that?
See, even if you see or analyze the game of Jadon Sancho, the number of goals are good for a right winger, but the number of assists are extremely high. So what I am seeing with Sancho coming in, probably this number of 12 would increase by say around 16 if Greenwood and Sancho both plays together, or Martial can go up to 24. But the number of assists, which is mostly dependent on say Bruno, Pogba, or VDB that I'm expecting, that number would also be, or that load will be redistributed to a Jadon Sancho over here. So with Sancho or any other good right winger who is very creative and very fast and everything, so they can add the numbers over here. But in terms of the goals, I'm happy if we can score 86 goals. I'm not expecting anything more than that.
Okay, great. The next question, Devanshu, is really around, I mean, in terms of goals and assists, that's fine, right? But who do you think is going to be our main player for next season?
Absolutely, for me, it would be Anthony Martial. I must confess that I thought that Martial probably is not a good enough number nine for us. I always rated Martial Rashford extremely highly, but I was extremely frustrated with the kind of chances or the body language that he displayed. Uh, Hats off to Martial. Since January, he has been the pivotal player for us, right? And I feel that he should have actually won in place of Bruno the fans player of the season also, rather than only the players player of the season, right? So Martial would be the standout player for me this season also.
All right. And if you were to break down the team into layers, right, who do you think is going to be a standout defender?
I strongly feel that Luke Shaw, I know it's a very unpopular opinion. Luke Shaw is very critical for the way United play. So if you see the games that we have lost, it was the games that Luke Shaw was not there. The link up that he does along with Rashford along the left wing, right, and the space that he creates for Rashford to just come in into the middle and link up with Martial, that is extremely crucial in terms of our attacking play. Shaw, I know there are a lot of players, a lot of fans who feel that he's very restricted, and since injury, he's no longer the same player, right? Uh, but Shaw plays a very pivotal role with respect to the attacking side. One more statistics that I would like to show is this, right? As a defensive unit, if you see, I hope everybody can see, right, Arjun?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a defensive unit, I know we have been in touch with Upamecano, other left-footed centre backs and everything, but I feel that our defense.
Devanshu, can you zoom a little?
Sure. This is good?
Yeah, full.
Right. So if you see as a defensive unit, which is very critical with respect to any team plays, right? We have been solid. 34 games where all, including DDG, we have had the three defensive unit playing together, right? So that cohesion that has happened over the last season, that would also have a effect this season. And I feel that if we have a fit enough Luke Shaw to even have more number of games, our defense would work better this season. And I'm expecting a similar performance with respect to the defense for the team this time.
Right. And between David De Gea and Dean Henderson, right, who do you see playing more matches? Is it going to be a split between the tournaments, or how do you see that panning out next season?
I personally feel that obviously we'll start with DDG, but once the international break comes in and if Dean gets a chance, Dean will take it, as well as Ole will also back him. Then what can happen is that once we have the Champions League game starting with the experience of David De Gea, we will have more number of games for David De Gea in Europe, and Dean would be playing the remaining games in the EPL. That would be in the second half of the season. But DDG would be number one for the starting of the season.
All right, great. So thanks for the player-wise analysis here, Debangshu. Now let's go to the main question, right? Where do you see United finishing in the Premier League at the end of the next season, and why do you think so?
Right. So I'll just go into the sheet, right? So if you see, I expect United. I'm an optimist person, right? So I would be expecting United to end with 84 points. If you see this season, I have not expected United to lose any game. I know it might sound a bit crazy, but as a United fan, I was not expecting United to lose. Even if we have 10 draws in this and say our 5 loss also, we would still be ending up with 79 points. 79 points, in my opinion, would be good enough to get a third position at the least. If we add more value in the transfer window, I strongly believe that we can get around 80 plus points, which would be good enough for us to even get second point. One important point that I have noticed in this fixture, so this is mostly about the EPL games that we have, the number of days in between matches. This is going to play an extremely important role how every team performs this season. I don't see Liverpool just running away with the league with 100 odd points, right? The critical matches, apart from the top five teams that we would have, would be these games. And these are the games that would probably make or break the season for United. If you see this period between December, that is starting 15th of December till the end of May, there are matches, Premier League matches within a space of 3 days, 4 days, 7 days. Again, it's a critical game against Leicester, right? Then we have a couple of days. So the entire bench strength, which is obviously a very critical factor for any team going forward, that is going to play a crucial role. So players like Scott, Fred, VDB, James, Mata, Ighalo, they have to just step into this phase, and only then we can reach this coveted number of 84 points, right?
All right. So Debangshu, if I'm correct, this is what you've predicted for as a result of every match next season, right? Can you just
Absolutely.
filter? Can you just filter on the games where you're expecting us to draw in column I probably or column H?
Right. One second. So just to give an understanding, so I was doing an analysis. So last time around the away games, so out of 19 away games, we had won only 8 games. And interesting statistics around that is that out of this 8 games, 7 away games we have won since December 1st. So that means two things. First, that we have started off late and the entire synergy on how the team would be playing, that was not there. Second, another interesting statistics, out of that 7 away games that we have won since December, 5 away games we have won after Bruno. So if you see, Bruno Fernandes is an extremely crucial player for United for this season. If Bruno Fernandes gets injured, I'm sad to say that we might even finish out of top 6 also. If Pogba or VDB doesn't perform up to the expected standards, there's a good possibility with teams like Everton, Spurs reinforcing their squad that we might end up losing also out of the top 6. So injuries would play a big role not only for us. If you see a team like Liverpool, right? Liverpool has got a very standard, well-drilled machinery under Klopp. So if you see the last 2 seasons, most of the players have played continuously. Anybody like Trent, Van Dijk, or Salah getting injured would also have an added impact on our games also. So against Pool, I'm not expecting us to win both home and away. So if crucial players of different teams gets injured, which I obviously don't want, right? But then we would have a better chance to finish in the top 4.
All
That
right.
would be.
So again, Devanshu, if you can just put a filter on the results that we are expecting against the top, the big 4 or the big 5, right? Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal. How does it look? What are your predictions against these big teams?
So for me, I have gone with the traditional top five teams. So that would be Pool, City, Chelsea, Spurs, and Arsenal. Right. So I have not counted Wolves, Sheffield, the others. So I am expecting a total point tally of around. Sorry, I'm expecting a total point tally of 16 out of a possible 30. I have been conservative with respect to that. But I feel that if we win the games against the lesser teams, say like a Brighton, Watford, Watford is not there. Brighton, Southampton, or even an Everton or Wolves, Sheffield, right? So we would be good enough. We don't need to take undue risk against the top teams because it gives the points to the others who are actually your competition.
Yes, I think I get that. I see that most of the draws out of the 10 that you had predicted are against the top five teams. But what is surprising here is that a lot of them are at home. So I see that you've predicted a home draw against Manchester City, and if I'm not wrong, a home draw also against. Uh, there's another club at the bottom that I can't see. So there are
Right.
basically,
So
yeah.
home draws I'm expecting against this six games. So crucial reason that would be Chelsea, Manchester City, Leeds, Wolves, Liverpool, and Leicester City. If you see, there would be unusual suspects like a Leeds. But if you see the number of games in between, say a City game as well as the Leeds game, and Leeds is a fierce team, right? We have seen it in their first game. Leeds is an extremely old competitor for United, so they will have the best game against United probably, right? Compounded with the fact that we have less time to recuperate for the team. Leeds would be a difficult game, so would be Wolves. So these are the matches where I'm expecting United to draw.
Right. And if we were, let's say, for example, if we were to move to a second position, right, where do you see us gaining maximum points? Is it against these big five, or is it against the other draws that we have, maybe against the lower teams? How do we bridge that gap between three and two?
Absolutely. That brings me to this point. How or where did we lose the points last season? So if you see, we won 18 games, 12 draws, and 8 losses. Against in the home venue, we have losses against teams like Crystal Palace, Burnley. Both the games we had a better XG, right? Against draws against West Ham, Everton, Wolves, where we again had a better XG. So if we can just add say three home games added advantage and 2 away wins, so that would take our total tally to 23 wins home and away combined. So 23 wins. If you see the entire this sheet when I presented, right, 23 wins is what I'm expecting. So I'm expecting a better performance or clinical performances in these games and reducing the number of draws. We had around 12 draws. If we can just reduce it to say even 10 draws and lose 5 games, we still have 79 points.
All right. All right, Devanshu, thanks for that. So your overall prediction is that there's a likelihood that United will finish third. We will definitely improve on almost every aspect, whether it's the number of wins, the number of draws, the number of losses, the number of goals we score and concede. And you think that bridging the gap to two will require certain other players coming up and certain better performances against maybe the bigger teams where we see a lot of draws coming in. So thanks, Devanshu. Thanks a lot for all your prediction.
Just
And I
to
must
add
say,
one point, Arjun, on that. So why I'm expecting the same is that other teams would also struggle. So if you see teams like Chelsea, if you see teams like Leeds, and I know people have been gung ho with respect to Leeds performing exceptionally well, right? But there would be injuries. It's a very brief session that we have. It's a very congested session, and team will not be able to play with the same kind of intensity. Second thing is with respect to the fan base. So teams like Liverpool or a Leeds, they actually thrive on the fan base. So if that is not there, that is going to have an impact. Also, if you see a team like Spurs with Jose's style, he might get points in the first half of the season, but once the fans starts coming into the grounds, the fans won't accept Jose's style of play. So that is where we'll have to capitalize and we'll have to be much more clinical also.
great. Thanks, Devanshu. So before we let you go and before we start with Pramod, I know we'll be going into detailed discussions with Pramod regarding the rankings, but who do you see winning the league and the top four for the Premier League next year, this season rather?
So I see Man City versus the squad depth that they have to be the front runner for the title. Pool, I feel that Pool and United should compete for the second and third slot. I know it's an unpopular opinion again. Chelsea, I think, would just nick Arsenal or a Spurs to the fourth position based on the quality that they have. So for me, it will be City, Liverpool / United, and Chelsea. That's it.
All right. Great. So, Devanshu, thanks a lot for your analysis. I must say, a very, very comprehensive analysis. Took me a bit of time to go through the sheet and ask the right questions. But thanks a lot, man. That's really detailed, and really appreciate the amount of work and effort that you've put in. I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching, it's really had a good time going through the entire analysis that you did. So, thanks a lot, Devanshu. Thanks a lot for your time, and definitely looking forward to talking to you again sometime on our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. So, Akhil, for the remainder of the session, right, to go into the PL and the CL and the other clubs, over to you and Pramod now.
Yeah,
Hello, hi
actually,
guys.
I'd like
Thanks.
to begin. Okay, sorry.
I'll just start. Okay. Thanks to Devanshu for a very detailed analysis. I would like to open the Excel file. Anyways, that was a really detailed analysis. Thanks to Devanshu. And we'll start with Pramod. Welcome, Pramod, to this show. And now the new topic will be top four predictions. We know EPL is already live, and we saw most of the teams performing in their first leg, and there are a lot of strong teams. You must agree to.
Yeah.
Teams have strengthened their weaknesses in teams like Everton, Tottenham,
Yeah.
and like Arsenal. All of them are buying players and strengthening their team, and it's going to be a very tough season for United as well as.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? What will be? Let's break the season into two parts. Where do you think it will be at the mid season by like December, and what changes will happen by the end, and what are the reasons? The change of reshuffling. What do you think?
Yeah, so yeah, it's not even an overstatement to say that this top four fight or even top six will be one of the most difficult in the what we have seen from the past few seasons, because even the mid-table teams have high ambitions and they want to improve. When you see Everton, the kind of signings they've made, the manager Ancelotti and James Rodriguez, they seem to have high ambitions. In the same way, the Leeds are playing very well. Leeds are playing very well. Sheffield Wolves, they're consistently being bogey teams for the top four, top six teams. So if you ask me, if I had to break it down between December and still December till the January transfer window, I would say we will be around fourth, fifth, just about trying to get into the fourth position, trying to be in the fringes to the fourth position, fifth or sixth, somewhere around. See, like Devanshu told, it completely depends on how Bruno and Martial turns up. Their whole system is based on Bruno and Van de Beek. They'll have to contribute. And again, Martial has been in phenomenal form since the lockdown. So if they are able to find form and hit the ground running from the first game, I would say we'll be comfortable around fourth position. But if they are not able to do what they're expected of, we might be around fifth or sixth. Fifth, I would say fifth. But then again, during the time, during like again, Devanshu properly has told, during the winter time where a lot of games are there in small, our depth is not that great. Let's be honest, our depth is not that great, and like again, Devanshu told, Igalo and James Mata. I don't know how much of the. It is very important for us to keep our front first 11 fit and do not overload. And someone like Mason Greenwood, if you overload a work with him, he's just 18. If you overload work with him, if he plays a lot of matches continuously, it's very likely that he'll get some injury, and by doing that in long term, it will affect our position as well. So by December, I would think they will be around fifth, but then. Afterwards, all the Christmas period, busy period of Premier League. By the end, I think we'll be in the fourth position. I'm being extremely optimistic.
Just tell me the top four by December.
Okay, so December, right? I feel I'm again, but this is I feel Liverpool will be on the top because Thiago signing, as I've already explained many times in the Facebook comments as well. Thiago signing, it may not seem it is a very important signing because Klopp has everything. He has fast, athletic. Mold of players in Salah and Mane. The one problem which he had was midfield instability. Thiago plays the system Bayern plays are very similar to how Liverpool play, and Thiago can be very crucial in Liverpool success. But then again, the downside to that is they have to keep the 11 remaining, but 11 fit. So I think Liverpool will be on the top, and City will be on the second. Third will be between us and Chelsea. If it Because see, I do not want to discount Arsenal because Arsenal under Arteta look extremely good. If you've seen the games that they have played against Liverpool and recently against Fulham, that Arteta stamp is there. Playing from the back, Willian being very important, shifting flanks. Aubameyang on the left wing has been a revelation, to be honest. See, when I saw Aubameyang play on the left hand side, I thought he will not be as efficient as he will be as a striker. But Arsenal under Arteta, they are looking extremely strong. We cannot discount them. So third, fourth, fifth, I think it will be between us. Third will be Chelsea. Fourth, United. Arsenal will be there. Arsenal will be there. Spurs again. Spurs, they have an excellent first team. As much as I love Jose, he's not the same man anymore. His style of play is under question, and I don't know how long he can play that kind of football and get results. I don't think they'll and achieve it. Be an achievement if they are sixth by then. I don't think Spurs will be around sixth only. So Liverpool, City, Chelsea, United, Arsenal, and City, United, Chelsea, and then Arsenal.
Okay, and by the end of season, final predictions.
Yeah, by the end of season, I think Liverpool will still win the league with Thiago in the midfield. City will struggle. I feel if they are not able to get any defender, I don't think they can do as much. So I think they'll be in the second only. They'll be and third will be Chelsea or United again. Again, our Greenwood, the right wing situation is the problem. If we are able to have a good right wing, our whole
So
first team will look good. Yeah.
So my next
third,
question.
yeah. Hello. Hello.
Akhil, you're having connection issues.
Yeah, so I think by the time that we have Akhil joined back with us, so Pramod, the question to you, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the managers, which manager do you see performing better than the others? I know that you said that Mourinho is not the same guy and that Arsenal are going to look really well under Arteta. What do you think about Lampard? And do you think that other managers from Wolves or Sheffield can step it up this season? What do you think of the management
Yeah,
performance next
actually,
season?
Arteta, I think, will be he's already proven his mettle in the previous season with winning. Apart from that, Lampard, I think he's doing well. But the problem with Lampard is to build up the team synergy. If he is able to build the team synergy as soon as possible with so many new signings, it will be very difficult for Lampard to get results that they want or the board expect of them. So I feel Lampard will struggle initially because so many new signings, it will be really difficult to build the synergy. So after that, Ole, I think, is already doing well. Fair play to him. I'm one of his harshest critics at the start, but he's completely changed. He's proven that he doesn't need to be tactically aware. His man management is superb. The way he's managed everyone, kept them in the right spirits. Ole is already doing well. I think Lampard will struggle. Arteta will do extremely well. And Sheffield, see, if you've seen their growth, their growth is immense under Chris Wilder. Right from Championship, they have come to Sheffield in last season for the first time in Premier League. They've already done well, and I think the main thing with the main strength of Sheffield is their defense. So if Chris Wilder has to improve something, he has to increase the output of in terms of goals. So when if you see the goals they have scored, I think they have scored only around some 50, I think, and that is no, excuse me, right, 1 second. The number of goals they've scored is very less, but the goals conceded, they have only scored around 39, 36 or 38, and that for a mid-table team is very good.
But I think that was with Dean in the team, right?
Yeah, Dean, but their defense is also actually good if you look at it. Their forwards have not been firing. If Chris Wilder is able to get them firing, get them more goals, I think.
But I
Yeah.
feel even Sheffield, they have replaced Dean with a very good keeper. Ramsdale is a good keeper. He's a very good keeper, and I don't think that will have great impact because they already have a good defense. And Ramsdale did pretty good in Bournemouth last year, so I don't think losing Dean will have that great effect on them.
So
Yeah, and
Pramod,
also, yeah.
no, go on, go on.
Actually, about Arsenal, I wanted to say one more thing. If they are able to get OR and Partey, they are definitely top four contenders. They will not even be in the fringes, because under Arteta, if he can get a creative outlet and Partey, the DM, because Lucas Torreira is unsettled completely. He's not able to. He's not fitting culturally. That would be the right apt way to say. If they get Partey, I think Arsenal and Arteta will do extremely well this season.
So I've heard your prediction top four. So you are saying Liverpool will finish on top. Second will be
Yeah.
City. Third will
Yeah.
be between third, fourth, fifth will be between
Yeah.
United, Chelsea, and
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I assume your prediction is based on the current team and no more further additions. So there are rumors around saying we'll be signing another right wing and a left back. So given assume we sign Sancho or Telles, do you see any change in the line the offer?
Yeah. Actually, if we are able to sign Sancho and a left back, and preferably DM, but I know it doesn't happen. They have told next season only backup striker and DM. But now, if we get Sancho and left back, we can comfortably be around fourth position. We'll be actually comfortably fighting for third position. Because the only problem is because of a lack of depth only. I feel that we'll be around fourth or third. But if we can get Sancho and regular, I'm still saying regular, still hurt. If we can get Sancho and any left back, we can easily be around top four is guaranteed. We'll be fighting for the third one. It
But there is
depends on how
also
Chelsea play, but then I feel Arsenal and Chelsea are a little bit. I feel they are 50-50.
See, I have one major concern with Liverpool. I keep expressing the same because I feel Liverpool is a well-run machine, well-oiled machine running at top speed. Nothing, no problems at all. They are like Mercedes of F1. So
Yeah.
the only concern I have is lack of options in the front three. So this front three their front three is very critical for them. Like they are the outlet of goals. If you see midfield, goal contribution is very less when it comes to Liverpool. It's from the fullbacks or the front three, the attacking force. So mid is mostly for the stability and everything. But so any injury to any of the fullbacks or the front three will have a great impact to their this thing. And law of averages are like inevitable. It's inevitable. And players like Firmino, Salah, and Mane, you have no guarantee they'll be firing throughout the season again. It happened twice, but coming into the third season, expecting them to do the same. But news are coming in that they are looking for Jota, which is a very good, which would be a very good signing. But you never know. Because for me, my prediction is first will be City, no doubt. Because I with City, the depth which they can play different teams in Champions League and Premier League and still win both the games. That is the kind of depth they have, barring the defense, which I feel they'll be fixing it before the window is shut. And second is obviously Liverpool. You can't take away the game they're playing. Was first and second, it will be between City and Liverpool. Nobody can deny. And the competition is for third and fourth. And like Devanshu said, like everybody is saying, Chelsea is someone who has bought so many players, is backing the manager. But so many new players coming in and playing together in Premier League will have some issues. We saw in the last match also they couldn't play properly. There were problems. There were issues with Howard's singing with the team. So I feel they'll take some time to run properly. So I feel my vote will be United for third, and fourth will be a dark horse, which is Tottenham, because Tottenham I feel they have strengthened their thing, and Mourinho second season, and he will try his level best to do whatever he can, and he's already doing it. He's already signed Hallberg. He has signed two fullbacks in Doherty and Reguilon. He is going for Bale, and there are rumors they're going for another striker also. So
Tottenham could
adding all
be
this,
Jose's Swan song.
Yeah, actually, if you talk about Spurs, no, Jose. See, the whole point of getting Jose into Tottenham was to get them trophies.
Yeah.
I think Jose will prioritize Europa or FA Cup. League Cup maybe if he can, because given his squad depth, I don't think he can do well in League Cup. But FA Cup and Europa are something Jose will thrive. He's already done it with us. Even if suppose imagine if you're Daniel Levy and you're coming sixth in Premier League, but you've given Europa, you've had a successful season.
Yeah, I think
To
that's the best part about Mourinho. It's not always the biggest prize that he aims for, even the smaller incremental ones,
With
right?
any prize.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
looks for the
and
easiest.
yeah, and Spurs have had such a major drought over trophies, and Jose Mourinho is their best bet to get, and their first 11 is actually good. So if he is able to keep the morale of the team up and have the right tactics in the cup games, I think he can deliver some cup. But in terms of Premier League, I don't see him prioritizing in the later stages. There comes a stage where Europa and Premier League will collide. Now they cannot keep playing the same team every time, and I at that time I will feel he'll do the same thing what he did with us. He will play the B team with the Tottenham in the Premier League, and the A team he will be playing in the Europa,
So
and
in
his
Premier
team
League,
will
it is
be
going to be a hit and miss for him. So I feel it's going to hit
yeah,
and miss. He will try till December to stay up, and if
yeah,
he's
yeah.
not there,
yeah,
he'll be concentrating fully on Europe and
yeah,
other
And we've
cups.
seen in the past that he really prioritizes well, right? Even
Yeah.
when he was with us, right? When there was
yeah,
this option between going for the Premier League or the fourth position on the Europa League, very strategically he played the youngsters in the PL, and then we had our main players performing in the Europa, and we went on to win it. So, and that's something about Mourinho that you can't question in terms of his planning. So, yeah.
And if you see like previous season, it's mostly counter-attacking football, which Jose is like staying back and counter-attacking. And Bale
uh,
and Son will run in the wings. I feel both of them are really good on the wings, and they'll have a good season under him. I feel if
yeah.
Bale
Actually,
manages to stay fit.
So just to add, yeah, just to add on a point about United with the cup competitions, like Pramod rightly mentioned, Jose wants a trophy, right? So for us, last season, League Cup, FA Cup, we went up to the semi-finals. So this season, it would not be that easy. So because this season, Ole would obviously prioritize in terms of finishing higher in the league table also. I know he would be also prioritizing a trophy and everything. I don't see us winning Champions League any time close also, right? With this kind of squad that we have. But if I would have been Ole, I would have also tried for at least a League Cup or an FA Cup, which are easier kills. It gives a morale boosting confidence to the
yeah,
young team, right? If we can win a League Cup and FA Cup. So that is a similar approach to Jose that Ole should target. Probably a one cup and the EPL finishing, say, top three or top two. That should be the
Okay,
target. And probably finishing up to the top, quarterfinals in the Champions League.
okay,
That's it.
let's go straight into the predictions of individual performance. So
yeah.
my question is to you, Pramod. Who do you think will be the Golden Boot winner this year in
Golden
Premier
Boot
League?
winner, I think it will be clear Aubameyang because he's ever since he has come into Premier League, he has set the scene on fire. He's had some 70 appearances and already 50 goals, and there is no stopping this guy. I think he'll be clear, followed
Even
by
my vote
Jamie
is for
Vardy.
him. Even my vote
Sorry,
is for him,
yeah,
especially after the addition of Willian. He'll get more chances.
yeah. Aubameyang will be clear, and followed by Jamie Vardy. I think again he will have a good season. But the thing is about Jamie Vardy, he is a late bloomer. I feel he started peaking only from 27, 28. Now he's around 31, I think. But he's
Yeah.
still going, and for Leicester, he's the only lone striker. He'll get bulk of the goals for Leicester. So Jamie Vardy and Aubameyang will win, but Jamie Vardy will come second. I feel.
I
And
personally
what
feel
about
Salah would have a good option with Thiago coming in also. And Salah is selfish. I think that would also help him also.
okay? What
Yeah.
about the top assist makers? Who will be there? Do you
I
think?
feel
Do you think Bruno will give a shout for it?
yeah, Bruno has an outside chance because when you've seen right, we've all seen in the half season he's already had 7 assists, 7, 8 assists, I think. Yeah. So Bruno has an outside chance, but I think it's still KDB has been established in a well-drilled team, right? Bruno is just settling in, has already done well. Bruno in future years he'll be the number one, but now KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, he's in a well-drilled oil machine. Nice, he knows what to do, set patterns of play. It'll be very difficult to dethrone him, but I think it'll be him only.
Okay,
First will
Pramod.
be Kevin De Bruyne, and then Bruno. Yeah.
So we can just go ahead and see your analysis which you have done on the other teams.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. I'll have to share screen. Huh?
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Not yet.
Are you? Is it visible now? Is it visible?
No.
Not
We're
yet. You
clicking on.
can send it to any one of us. We'll share it and then we can start discussing.
Okay. I don't know what is the problem.
What option do you see when you go to share screen?
It is saying your entire screen and it is showing me the application window, Chrome tab and all. Okay. Is it seen now?
Yeah. I'll add it.
Yeah.
Now it's there.
Sorry for
And
that.
suggest the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have done this as a overview. I thought I'll get just brief overview. I will do it.
Zoom a bit. Zoom a bit.
Zoom.
Can't see.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, let's go team wise. So let's start with Liverpool.
Team wise, I have done everyone out of top 5. I mean, in the top 6 except United because Devanshu has already done. So Liverpool, first off, I'm starting with them because I think they'll win the league. And actually, it was very tough for me in my opinion, to find my most valuable player because their system is their biggest strength. And I feel Mane will be critical in terms of assisting, creating chances, and goal scoring. Salah, see, the point about Salah is if he's having a bad game, he doesn't contribute anything to the game. His main objective is just goal scoring. Hello, can you hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think Mane will be the most valuable player, and then strengths are the front three fullbacks and quick transitions. All these are things that have established Liverpool. All of us know their front three are one of the best among the European elite, and fullbacks obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold. Even he has a shout for one of the top assist makers. Even for a fullback, he has an excellent numbers. Weakness, lack of depth. Like Akhil, you've already told, one injury to any of the front three, the whole system goes, because Origi, none of the backups are the quality that these guys have. So one lack of depth and everything. Opportunities for Thiago and Keita. Thiago, again, quality signing. I feel he'll be the most crucial. He has an opportunity to establish himself in the Premier League side, to stamp his authority. And Keita has been there for long. I don't think he'll get enough chances with Thiago coming in. But I feel if he gets some chance, I think he has to take those opportunities and be effective. But I don't think he'll get much chances. So that's, and threats again, injuries. So even for Van Dijk, even the defense, let alone the front three, even on Van Dijk goes, their season will go back to being in the 17-18 where they were leaking goals and scoring. So injuries they don't have any depth. Injuries are a major threat for them. And then going by City, Kevin De Bruyne, he is the MVP. We all know what he brings to the table. He's the one engaging the whole system, and Kevin De Bruyne is the fulcrum to the entire system. And quality depth. You see the wingers they have: Sterling, Bernardo Silva on the right, Sterling on the left, Riyad Mahrez. So many people. They have quality depth in every position. Rodrigo. But center back is something they'll have to work on. That comes in the weakness. But here, and well-drilled positional play. Now they are established. Now Pep's authority is there. Now only way they are going to lose is their defense is being shit. Otherwise they have one of their best offensive patterns of play. Positional play is excellent, and defense. All of us know except Laporte, the other defenders, Otamendi, he's inconsistent. They have still not replaced Company. So defense is going to cost them again, like what happened last time. And striker, I mentioned striker because I see Aguero already had sporadic appearances. He's already phasing out slowly. Jesus is playing as a false nine. I mean, he's playing, but he's not being consistent enough. Their striker problem, it can be exploited by the other oppositions, but I don't see Aguero replicating the form. He's slowly aging. So I feel, in my personal opinion, striker will be a problem for them. And Foden and Ferran Torres are opportunities. These guys, they have a lot of to give now, because that David Silva has gone. Foden, he has a lot to give. It's already being hyped by Pep. Everyone around England team thinks this guy, he's a generational talent. So his opportunities. And again, threats, the same thing. At all, lack of depth in defense. They don't have any backup defender at all. If Laporte goes, the entire season is gone. And going forward, Arsenal again, Aubameyang, the main most valuable player. He is the one. If the thing with Aubameyang is, if he goes well, the entire Arsenal team will go well. If he has a bad game, the whole Arsenal structure will go down. So he is very important for Arsenal to be successful. And one of the main reasons is influence of Arteta. Ever since Arteta has come, he has made the sinking ship float. And it's not even an exaggeration, because they had three managers before: Unai Emery, Lundberg, and now Mikel Arteta. They had their one of their bad patches, and Arteta has made them into a very strong contender for top four, given if they can get their signings done. And it is, and under what, and 6 months is already transformed Arsenal into a very solid side. So in Brazilian core, I mentioned this because, see, Willian is there on the right wing, Martinelli is there, and this guy Gabriel, the new signing, he's already shown what he's capable of, but I don't know if he can sustain it for 38 games. But he looks promising, right? He looks promising, and I hope these guys, if they can fit in well, they can be one of major Arsenal strengths. And then again, defense. Even though they've got Gabriel and Saliba, I don't think they can hit it right off. They'll still be leaky in their defense. David Lewis can be error prone, and their defense will never be stable as long as they are establishing properly, as long as they are training properly. Let's see, Saliba is there, and midfield. So one of the main problems for Arsenal is there is no DM. That's why they are trying Partey, and Ozil is done. Ozil has no interest in playing also, even though he keeps saying he doesn't. All the managers that have come before him have a problem with Ozil. So I don't think Ozil is there. So they need an attacking there. There is no creative output, because see, Danny Ceballos, until Mikel came, he was out of sorts. He was not interested. But under Mikel, he's shown promising, but he's that's not enough. If they have to create goals from midfield, they need another attacking midfielder who can be creative, so and technical, both of them. And opportunity, Saka. This guy, he started off as a left wing, I mean left back, then came to left wing back. Now he's starting as left winger. He already, in like what, in 5-6 months, he's already shown that he is very capable and next generation talent he is. So I think he'll also break through this season along with Martinelli. Martinelli has had few injury issues, like Tierney. Both of them have injury issues, young, upcoming. But I think this season again it will be well for Martinelli. And threats, inconsistent performances. The one thing about Arsenal is, one day they play like they're champions, they defeat Liverpool, they defeat City, and then they go to Brighton, Watford, and not again. Watford is not there now. They go to these lower league teams and get shown their plays. That's the problem. They are very inconsistent in their performances, and if they keep doing it again, they cannot make it into the top four. Mikel Arteta has to make sure that they remain focused and play properly in all of those games, and to be consistent. And then moving on, Spurs. I think the frontline attack, the whole attack, first 11 of Spurs, they are excellent, to be honest. Because with Bale coming in, Regulion, Doherty, every base is covered. The first 11 is very good. Harry Kane being the MVP of the team, he will, again, like Aubameyang, this guy is the key to this, key to score goals for this team. Because when you saw what happened when Harry Kane went off, they didn't have a striker to um, give backup. So I don't think this will happen. I don't think they will be as top four contender. Then bench quality is a weakness, right? Bench quality and lack of striker. Bench quality, they don't have anyone on the bench. If suppose Harry Kane gets an injury, there is no one to back him up. Same with defense also. Their defense, Tanganga, yeah, he can, you cannot trust him for another 38 games, right? So you need defense also. They're not replaced Vertogen. So opportunities, Bergwijn and Lo Celso, they find but they've come in recently. They've not had much to show for Losel, so I think he has to break out and be the creative output, replace Christian Eriksen's influence in this. And the main problem for them is style of play, right? You buy all these good fullbacks and all, if they are in their own half, there is no point in buying them people. So Jose has to tweak his methods if he has to find success. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for them. I don't see them finishing in the top four, in my opinion. Chelsea again, ZH. Not many people. See, I have not followed him. I have just seen the bits and pieces. I've read a lot about him recently. ZH has to be the one ticking for Chelsea because he can provide a lot from assist. He can provide a lot of assists to Kai Havertz or Werner. If they can find that synergy among those three, ZH will become very important. Pulisic is good enough, but I think if ZH can pick in, right, if ZH can find his form, Chelsea's attack will be excellent. So strengths again, midfield, Kante, Kovacic, Jorginho, their midfield is one of the biggest strengths, and quality in depth. They've got a lot of signings. They have backup for everyone, but their defense is still shaky. But then even the striker options, they have Tammy Abraham, Oliver Giroud, Timo Werner. They can play in every league. They can play. They can focus on competitions, cup leagues, and they can still have a good run in each of them because of these so many striking options and depth and quality. Then again, weakness is their defensive organization. You saw against what happened when Chelsea played recently. Their defense is still problem, and Lampard is not able to figure out how to stop leaking goals. And if Lampard is able to figure out, then it will be good enough. But their defense is still a question. Opportunities will be Kai Havertz, Mason Mount. These guys, Kai Havertz, lot has been set for him. He'll have the pressure of even the price tag, but I think it's a very good opportunity. Such a young age, he has to establish himself as soon as possible, so that at least there is no pressure, right? So Mason Mount and Reece James, these guys, they're up and coming through the academy. It's excellent opportunities for them to showcase their talents and their threats. The main problem is their coherence. They don't have. They've built so much. They've bought in so much so soon. Lampard will have to grind a lot in the training sessions to get the right set of attacking patterns and defensive organization. So, and then these are the top five. There is just a brief mid-table teams about Leeds, Everton, Wolves, Sheffield. Leeds, again, a lot of people know about him. These guys already, the pressing system, Bielsa, one of the foremost people in pressing system. For them, Calvin Phillips, he's the guy. We saw what he does against Liverpool as well. He is pulling the strings. If he's able to dictate the midfield along with the Bamford, Pablo Hernandez, Elder Costa, it will be the Leeds will be the one to watch out for. And I feel top scorer for Leeds will be Bamford. And Everton, Ancelotti, see, Everton are being too ambitious, and that's not a bad thing. I'm saying they're being very ambitious in bringing James Rodriguez, Ancelotti. So James Rodriguez is going to be the key for them. If he's able to tick in, then Everton, Ancelotti, they can progress. But I see them finishing around 7th, 8th only. It'll be between them and Leeds. Wolves, I feel they've started off well. Raul Jimenez and Coady in defense, they've started off well, but I feel they will eventually, people will figure out it's not. And plus, away games are very easy to beat. In Molineux, it will be difficult to beat them, but Wolves, again, it depends on how Jimenez and Nuno is playing. They have the entire Portugal team, so it will be interesting when the Portugal games come. They'll have no one to play only. Then Sheffield again. I told one of the biggest strengths is their defense. If they are able to find more goals, if they are able to attack more, find more number of goals, only then Sheffield I think can progress because their defense is already very good. They'll have to. They'll again if they don't improve with their forwards, I think they'll finish around 8th and 9th. So that's about it from my side.
Pramod,
Thank you so much,
will-
Pramod. It was a very detailed analysis. You have put in a lot of work. Thanks a lot for your valuable time and your analysis. Akshay, you can take over the comments, and after that, I'll just very briskly I'll just go through the CL top four predictions.
yeah. So I have one question for Devanshu, which is going to come on the screen.
Right, with two new signing, what is the prediction where we will finish? Right, so like Anup, like I have mentioned, so I am hopeful that we can have a good shot at the second position. I know it's a bit stretch target, but then we finished third with 66 points. Nobody expected us to finish third this season also. So I'm expecting around 84 points. So I feel that with only VDB also and with the better cohesion, we would definitely be reaching second or third at the least.
Okay. Thank you, Devanshu. This one is for you, Pramod.
Yeah,
Again
yeah.
from Anu.
In terms of the way we play against which teams other than top six will be struggle. I think our major issue was breaking down the low blocks, right? And we have already reinforced them with Van de Beek and Bruno. So it won't be that difficult. And I think we have covered, even if they are high pressing teams, high pressing teams is something we need to be aware of because Pogba, Matic, both are suspect. Teams like Southampton, Hasenhuttl, we saw what they did to Pogba and Matic. So again, I think that the way we'll struggle is someone who is high pressing our midfielders. So I think them teams, I think we will struggle.
Yeah. Akhil, there are no more questions. You can take over the CL prediction.
Okay, I'll just very briskly, we'll just touch upon CL also. We'll have a separate session for CL specifically, but this just for the initial before the season, taking some prediction. I'll take from both Devanshu and Pramod. Just your vote for top four in CL and who will be the winner. Just the names, nothing, no reasoning. Just the names. Whom do you think will be the top four, and whom will win the CL?
I
We'll start
think
with Pramod. Yeah.
see if you yeah if I my probable semi-final last four will be I think Bayern will be there. Bayern are the favorites I would say because their team is so good with the addition of Sane, and even if Thiago goes, Kimmich is there to fill that role. Kimmich is world class in right back and DM. So Bayern are their favorites. Then I think City and Liverpool can come in because they both are desperate for Champions League, and City I think will do well this time. Pep has had enough. I think City can come into the semi-finals, and Liverpool also. Liverpool also, I feel they will come in. And fourth, I don't know. It can be anyone. I feel again PSG have a very good team, but their defense is shaky again. PSG's defense, I don't know. I feel PSG can come in. I feel. I'm not sure though.
So
And who will be the
I
winner?
Yeah, winner. I think Bayern only. I think they are very
Bayern,
good.
yes.
Okay, Devanshu, you are top four. I'm
right.
sure
So
United is there.
no, I don't see United for UCL at least this season, right? I would be
Yeah.
happy if proved wrong. So I see Real Madrid coming back to the top four definitely, right? I see Bayern Munich also. I feel that for Pep Guardiola, this would be the last season. If he doesn't deliver the UCL success, he will be out for sure. So I see him going all out for UCL. So he will be the third team. Fourth team, I'm expecting a surprise entry. So not the traditional teams that we have seen. I'm expecting a surprise. Someone like Atlanta or say even Liverpool coming in. So those kind of teams.
Liverpool, I don't think would be a surprise. My top four is going to be Bayern, PSG, Liverpool, Man City, with Bayern winning it.
Yeah.
Lewandowski, top scorer.
Okay,
Sorry,
let's take it
Pulkit.
from Arjun also, and just we'll wrap the session. Arjun, what about you?
Yeah, I think I see Bayern going on a similar run like Real Madrid did. I see them not only winning this year, I think maybe next year they're so good they have the potential to do that. So Bayern, of course, are the favorites and one of the top four in the CL. I think one between Man City and Liverpool will definitely make it. I don't see both of them making it. I think it's going to be Man City. Uh, I see PSG as the third team. I think their attack is too good to not make it through. And the fourth is obviously going to be there's always a surprise team every season. Uh, we saw Leipzig, we
Yeah,
saw
yeah, yeah.
this year. So I don't want to name it because I know it's going to be a surprise for everyone. But I see Bayern winning it quite easily, to be honest.
Who will
Okay,
be the
for
top
me
scorer?
also, just like
Top scorer, I think probably Lewandowski. I think it's going to be a good fight between Lewandowski and maybe let's just maybe Mbappe or Neymar. Let's see. I really think Neymar is going to come good this season. I really think.
Yeah, even I feel so. But the only point for PSG is their defense. I don't think their defense is good enough. Kipembe is somewhat okay. Marquinhos is playing center midfield now, so I don't know what to say.
Then we forgot the
So-
legend for UCL, Cristiano Ronaldo, also for the top scorer position.
That's why I was coming to that only. My top four prediction is entirely different. Bayern is obviously there. I don't think EPL teams are going to make it this year. According to me, it'll be United. Sorry, not United. Sorry, Juventus, Bayern. I think Barca, because Barca. I feel Messi being in the last season. That's my dark horse. That's my surprise package in top four.
This year,
because
Barca?
yeah, I that's my gut feeling was Messi playing his last season and some like I see him doing some magic for Barca and leaving Barca before leaving Barca.
I
And
feel
I don't think he'll leave, to be honest.
I feel he's counting the days when he can leave that role. To be very honest,
He'll come back as a coach.
He's done with Bartemo and the entire board. He's waiting to leave. I feel.
okay, thanks everyone. Thank you everyone for your valuable time, and I hope to see you guys again soon with some good discussions. I think it's time to wrap up. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
GMU.
Thank you, both of
Best
us.
of luck for the match tomorrow. See you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, GGMU.
Cheers, JGMU. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, thank you.